All right, how's it, guys? So we are less than 12 hours away from driving out of this driveway and off to Kyalami for our last time trial and our first time out with a car in race trim. It's been a hell of a journey, and starting off, I think we just want to thank all of you guys who've given us a whole lot of encouragement along the way. Really appreciate it. It's been a modest little build, and obviously there's still a long way to go once we start finding how the car behaves and start really working on it. But at least now we've effectively taken the big step and taken the transition from a standard road car into something which really is about to hit the track and absolutely ready to do so. So in the last week or so, we've been quite busy with the final kind of setup. Now you'll be seeing in picture now, we've got our rims on here. This was our big reveal in terms of the strange color. For want of a better word, it's brown, but we actually think it looks quite nice. And these are on the semi-slick tires, which we got from our friend Nick. So pretty happy with the setup. And obviously with a car setup like this, we've got to get our ride height sorted out, and we need to get our corner weighting done. So ride heights we managed to set relatively easily in terms of where we needed to go. We ran out of travel at the back, which was quite surprising, and I have referred the question back to BC Racing because we can't go any lower at the back. It's probably fine as it is, but it does worry me that we just don't have any room to play. We then took the car off for alignment and again managed to get the setup exactly where we wanted it, with the exception of the rear. We could not get the camber that we're looking for at the back. So again, I'm not sure if that's by virtue of the fact that we've taken all the weight up, the car's sitting higher, and even though we've dropped it down, we just can't get any more camber out of the back. So we definitely are going to need to replace our camber links, or the rear control sway arms, whatever the hell you call those things, to adjustable versions so we can get some more camber at the back. But at the front, we've managed to dial in. We were looking for somewhere between 3 and 3.5 degrees. So we've got it smack in the middle at 3.25. Our toes, front and rear, are also exactly where we wanted them. So really happy with that. So corner weight is something which everybody talks about. The question is, how the hell do you do it? The theory is great, but you've got to be able to weigh the car. And sophisticated corner weighting systems don't come cheap, and we weren't about to go out and splash 50 or 40 grand on a corner weight setup. So I'd seen a couple of guys say that we're doing it with bathroom scales. So I bought 8 bathroom scales, and they were sitting in the back of my car when Nick and I popped around to see a client who was in a bit of need last Sunday. And he's also happens to be a racer, and I jokingly said to him, right, we're off to do our corner weights with these bathroom scales. And he turned around and said, no, don't be silly. He's got the real stuff. So we loaded up the car there and then, and we actually had the benefit of a proper professional corner weight scaling system, which we were then able to tackle. So we were obviously tackling a 50-50 weight distribution split on the cross weights, and we literally got it. So we got it to 49.8% on the cross weight. So we're really happy with, with that balance. And yeah, hopefully that stands us in good stead once we're on the track. Yeah, so I think the car is looking certainly much more fit for purpose. Definitely no mistaking it anymore as being just a road car. Also, just cosmetics is always important to us as well. So we painted the wheels and then decided that the black standard trim, so the door trims and the bumper trims, needed to go, so we've just color coded those, and we just think it gives the car a bit of a cleaner look. That's pretty much it on the outside of the car. Moving to the inside, it was pretty much getting to a point of completion last time we spoke. We are required in terms of the rules of the race series to have covers over the door panels. So this door has been completely gutted with all of the sheet metal nibbled out as well. So there's absolutely nothing underneath this. And then we've basically just put in a sheet of aluminium. We now have the passenger seat in, and we also have obviously all the seat belts installed and set up, which is a bit of a pain. You've got to get the car up and down on the lift to get all the tether points in. And then setting up as well is quite tricky, but it's all good to go now. Yeah, today has been spent making sure that everything that needs to be secure is secure, that nothing is flapping and rattling around, and pretty much ready to rock and roll. So under the hood, I think you guys had seen most of what we were busy with. So our cold air intake was in, and the last time we spoke, our fresh air intake for the cabin was basically just this loose flexi. So we fashioned up an enclosure here, basically just to create an air chamber here, which allows us to trap some air coming in from the top of the bonnet, and then it ducts straight in, and that marries up inside the cabin with the air vents in the dash. And it seems to work reasonably well. We'll see tomorrow. I mean, it's hot as hell today. We have taken the car out for a little bit, and I must say I didn't notice the heat or anything, but of course we weren't in race overalls or anything like that. So we'll see how it goes. If it's not sufficient, we are going to need to look at putting some kind of forced ventilation in there. But yeah, it's all going to be part of the game of seeing where we go. Got a strut brace. Schmiedman in Denmark is an incredible company just for no reason other than how quickly they ship stuff. It's a few times now that I've shipped stuff over from them, and while shipping is not ridiculously cheap, it's not terribly expensive either. And so I was able to get this strut brace landed here and literally delivered to my door within 3 days of placing my order for under 1,500 rand. So I think it's pretty good deal. So yeah, under the car we've just been making sure that everything is tethered and tight. We were getting some fouling from the M3 branches on the triangular bottom brace. So the brace has been off a couple of times, being heated up, beat the hell out of the thing to just get a little depression on it to make sure that we're clear there, and that all seems to be good now. The under bonnet liner was obviously removed. There's always a nasty layer of muck which just kind of settles on there over the years, and Nick has spent quite some time, cleaning that up quite nicely, which is probably going to be in vain because at some point this has got to go and we've got to get the fiberglass or carbon bonnet on here. So yeah, we have pretty much run out of our camber travel as it happens to get that 3¼ degrees that we were looking for. So if you have a look on the BC Racing here at the top, you will see that we simply cannot go any further, both in terms of the camber plate positioning as well as where the adjustable Allen caps are in there. So if we do need more camber, we are going to need to make some further modifications and adjustments to be able to get that. The one other thing that we did decide to do, we are terrified about this dreaded oil pump nut coming off, and we haven't yet taken the step to drop the subframe, get the sump off, and actually deal with the welding and the tack welding of the nut and just inspecting everything. I mean, we need to do that anyway because we have got a bit of a weeping oil weep around the sump. But we decided to do the vibration damper because it could be one of the components which contributes to that harmonic issue, which spins that nut off and of course causes catastrophic engine failure. So the damper's not cheap. It's kind of $1,500, but when you're talking about the price of a rebuild, probably not a bad idea. We weren't sure whether the old one was bad or not. It looked like maybe the rubber was starting to kind of extrude out of the unit, but when we got it off, it actually looked perfectly good. So I'm quite sure the old damper was fine, but we got a brand new damper in there anyway. So yeah, that's probably about it. I think the one part of the car that you guys haven't seen much work going on is in the trunk or the boot. I know Nick has been doing some work trying to clean things up, which are generally quite dirty in here. So there's still a bit of work we've never shown you, but there is a brace across there which Tom did when he did the roll cage. So this area is still quite ugly. We'll make it pretty. We'll give it a bit of pink spray paint. But given that there's absolutely no chance that we're going to be winning any races anytime soon, I guess we've got to find a reason to crack a bottle. And if it's not now, having concluded the first phase of our build process, then it's never going to be. So guys, yeah, thanks for the journey so far. And yeah, we look forward to bring you an update of how things go tomorrow. At the moment, we'll be happy if we get through the day and we manage to get the car to survive all 5 sessions without putting it on its roof. And yeah, we'll take it from there, but we'll certainly be capturing some footage for you guys to see. So cheers to you all. Thanks a bunch.